The American Civil War, how it began and how it ended. This war killed more Americans than every other war in United States history combined. It wasn't fought against a foreign enemy. Americans slaughtered Americans over the right to own other human beings. 1861. By the time the first shot was fired, the country had been cracking for 40 years. The South's entire economy ran on enslaved labor, cotton, tobacco, sugar. 4 million people owned as property, worked without pay, bought and sold like livestock. The North had industrialized, factories, wage labor, a different economy, and increasingly, a different moral argument. Every new state added to the country forced the same question: would slavery expand or be contained? The South's answer was always the same: expand or we leave. November 1860. Abraham Lincoln won the presidency without carrying a single Southern state. He hadn't even appeared on the ballot in most of them. The South didn't wait to see what he would do. December 1860, South Carolina seceded, then Mississippi, then Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas, all within 6 weeks. February 1861, they formed a new country, the Confederate States of America. Jefferson Davis as president, a constitution that explicitly protected slavery by name, something the U.S. Constitution never did. April 12, 1861. Confederate artillery opened fire on Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, a Union fort surrounded by seceded territory. The garrison surrendered in 34 hours. No one died in the bombardment. That was the last easy moment of the war. Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteer soldiers. 4 more states seceded immediately. Both sides thought it would be over in 90 days. It lasted 4 years. The first major battle, Bull Run, July 1861, ended with Union soldiers running back toward Washington in panic. Civilians had driven out from the city with picnic baskets to watch what they expected to be a quick Union victory. They fled alongside the soldiers. The war ground into something no one had planned for: industrial-scale killing, rifles that could hit a target at 500 yards. Generals still ordering troops to march in straight lines across open fields. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, July 1st, 1863, the largest battle ever fought on North American soil. 50,000 casualties in 3 days. Confederate General Pickett led 12,500 soldiers in a direct frontal charge across 3/4 of a mile of open ground. Half of them died before they reached the Union line. That charge broke the Confederate Army's capacity to attack. From that point, the South could only defend. January 1st, 1863. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. It freed enslaved people in Confederate states specifically, not the border states, still loyal to the Union. It was a military and political weapon as much as a moral declaration. It made the war explicitly about slavery. It made it impossible for Britain or France to support the Confederacy without defending slavery openly. 180,000 black men enlisted in the Union Army after it passed. Many of them had been enslaved. They fought to end the system that had owned them. General William Sherman marched his army from Atlanta to the sea, 300 miles through the Confederate heartland, destroying everything that could feed or supply the Confederate war machine. Railroads torn up, plantations burned, granaries emptied. He called it hard war. History calls it the blueprint for modern total warfare. By early 1865, the Confederate Army was starving, undersupplied, and shrinking faster than it could be replaced. April 9th, 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at a farmhouse in Appomattox Courthouse, Virginia. Grant's terms were quiet and precise. Confederate soldiers lay down their arms and go home. Officers keep their sidearms. Men who own horses keep them. They'll need them for the spring planting. No executions, no prison camps. Go home. E. Lee signed. 5 days later, Lincoln was shot in the back of the head at Ford's Theater in Washington by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer who believed he was saving the South. Lincoln died the next morning. The war was over. The killing wasn't. Reconstruction lasted 12 years. Then the South methodically dismantled every right black Americans had gained, through terror, law, and silence. The Confederacy lost the war. For the next 100 years, it won the peace. 620,000 soldiers dead. More American casualties than World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam added together. 4 million people freed. A country that had written all men are created equal while owning human beings was forced, at gunpoint, to decide what that sentence actually meant. It's still deciding. This is just one piece of our history. Our real stories go way deeper. Discover thousands more on melanin.site.